The day began with the quiet hum of engines as the transport craft descended toward the plains of the Ember frontier. Inside the craft sat a human soldier named Leon. He carried no rank emblems and wore no medals. He preferred silence and discipline. His posture was straight but calm, and his eyes held the sharp focus of someone who had survived too many battles to be impressed by anything. He had been sent as a representative for a small diplomatic task, though he suspected the mission would involve more than simple communication. His instincts warned him that things were rarely as simple as briefings described. The craft touched the dusty ground, and the ramp lowered. A gust of warm wind pushed against him as he stepped out. Before him stretched a wide arena of stone platforms and tall banners, painted with symbols of an alien empire known as the Ardalan Dominion. Their architecture was severe but elegant, with towers that cut into the sky like spears. Standing in formation near the entrance was a squad of guards dressed in silver armor. Their armor gleamed under the sun with an almost mirror-like sheen. They watched him with an unreadable expression. Leon walked forward without hesitation. The guards kept their gaze on him but did not speak. He sensed tension among them, as if they were waiting for a cue. The air felt heavy. A deep horn echoed from the central tower, and the guards shifted their stance. A gate opened behind them, and a figure stepped out. It was a woman clad in heavy ceremonial armor. The armor was dark crimson with gold edges. Her height was above average, and her steps were slow but deliberate. Her helmet had two rising crests that signified authority in her culture. Leon paused. The woman moved closer, but suddenly staggered. Her knees buckled, and she fell forward, the weight of her armor dragging her down. The guards did not reach out to help her. Their protocol seemed to forbid touching a high figure without permission. Leon saw her struggling. Her arms tried to push against the ground, but the armor restricted her movement. He stepped toward her. The guards shifted, alarmed, but they did not attack. Leon knelt beside the armored woman. He slipped his hands under her arms and lifted her as gently as possible. The weight of her armor surprised him, but he steadied himself and raised her to her feet. She regained balance and looked at him through the visor. For a brief moment, the surroundings fell into silence. Then the guards dropped to their knees. They bowed deeply, their heads nearly touching the ground. Leon blinked in surprise. He had expected confusion or outrage, but not reverence. The armored woman raised a hand, signaling the guards to remain bowed. Leon stepped back to give her space. She removed her helmet. Underneath was a young woman with silver hair that fell to her shoulders. Her eyes were a deep crimson, a trait common among her people. She studied him without anger. Instead, she seemed curious. She spoke with a calm tone. "You touched me without fear. That is rare among visitors." Her voice held strength, even though she had just fallen. "Do you know what the guards saw?" Leon shook his head. "I only saw someone who needed help." The woman nodded. "In our culture, only a chosen guardian is allowed to lift a royal figure from the ground. It is an ancient tradition. The act symbolizes protection. When you lifted me, you claimed the role without knowing." Leon exhaled slowly, understanding the reaction of the guards. "I meant no disrespect. There is no disrespect in helping another." Her tone softened. "I am Erin, daughter of the Dominion leader. You may call me Erin for now." Leon kept his stance steady. "I am Leon." Erin stepped closer. "Leon, you have walked into a tradition far older than either of us." The guards bow because they see a sign. "I do not know if the sign is real, but I choose to see your act as simple kindness." Leon observed her posture. She did not seem offended or threatened. Instead, she seemed relieved. Erin gestured toward the inner courtyard. "Walk with me. There is more happening here than you know." Leon followed her past the bowing guards. None of them lifted their heads until she gave a signal. As they passed through the courtyard gates, the noise of the outside world faded. Here the air felt cooler, and the walls were decorated with murals that showed the history of the Dominion. They depicted great battles, alliances, and the rise of the royal line. Erin walked with slow but confident steps. Her armor made a soft metallic sound as she moved. There have been tensions along our border. Some believe your people intend to expand farther. I requested a human representative to visit so we could speak openly. I did not expect the council to send a soldier. Leon nodded. I was assigned because I have dealt with your forces before. They trust my judgment. Erin stopped beside a long stone table. I hope that trust is well placed. The council here is divided. Some want peace. Others believe strength is the only language your people respect. They see your presence as a chance to measure humanity. And lifting you changed their view that much. It may have. Erin looked at him with a faint smile. They believe the Guardian tradition is guided by destiny. I do not follow destiny, but I do respect courage. Leon leaned on the edge of the table with caution. If this causes trouble, I will take responsibility. Erin shook her head. No, I will speak for you. The situation may even help us. A guardian bond in our culture ensures that no harm comes to the royal figure while the guardian lives. Some of the council may see this as a sign to trust humans. They will not challenge a tradition that has stood for centuries. Leon understood the risk. Then I will stay close until this matter clears. Erin studied him again. Your voice is calm, even though the situation is dangerous. Most would panic. I have seen worse. Erin tapped her armored gauntlet against the table. I want to know something. When you lifted me, what did you think? Leon shrugged. That you would hurt yourself if I did nothing. I did not think beyond that. Erin's expression softened further. Simple intent. Direct. That kind of honesty is rare here. Before Leon could respond, a guard rushed into the courtyard. He knelt and bowed his head. Princess, the council has gathered in the hall. They request your presence and the presence of the human. Erin nodded. We will go. Leon followed her across the courtyard and into the hall. The building was wide with tall pillars and a circular stone floor. Council members stood in a half-circle, watching him as he entered. Their armor and robes showed their ranks. Some looked annoyed. Others looked intrigued. One council member stepped forward. Princess Erin, we witnessed the act outside. The Guardian tradition has been activated. Explain why a human has claimed the role. Erin faced them without fear. He did not claim anything. I fell. He helped me. If you see destiny in that, then your interpretation is yours. I will not condemn kindness. Another council member spoke. The Guardian tradition cannot be dismissed. The human must be examined. His nature must be tested. We cannot allow an unworthy guardian to remain near the princess. Leon tensed, but Erin raised a hand. If a test is required, I accept it. But I will oversee it. A silent debate passed through the council. Finally, they agreed. The test would take place in the central arena. The hall emptied, and the crowd gathered outside. The arena floor was made of smooth stone. Sunlight filled the open space. The guards formed a circle around the edges. Erin stood at the center with Leon. She spoke quietly. The test will not be easy. They will study your reactions. They will measure your resolve. I am ready. Erin gave a small nod. I do not want you harmed. I will manage. The council signaled for the test to begin. Several armored figures stepped forward. They carried blunt training weapons. Their style suggested they would test endurance and restraint, not lethal skill. Leon stepped into a ready stance. The first challenger approached. Leon dodged the strike without aggression. He countered with precise movements, pushing the challenger back. The second challenger moved in. Leon shifted his balance and redirected the force. His movements were efficient, calm, and controlled. Erin watched with growing interest. She could see the discipline in his actions. He fought without anger. He countered without cruelty. His every motion protected himself without threatening others unnecessarily. More challengers entered. Leon adapted with fluid precision. He avoided harming them and instead used their momentum to drop them safely to the ground. The guards watching murmured among themselves. They had expected brutality or fear, not such measured skill. Finally, the last challenger stepped forward. He was larger and more aggressive. He charged with heavy blows. Leon caught one strike on his forearm and stepped inside the guard's reach. He pushed the challenger back with controlled force. The challenger stumbled. The test ended. The council regarded Leon with new eyes. One member spoke. The human passes the tradition's demand. His restraint is not weakness. It is discipline. Erin stepped forward. Then the matter is settled. Leon remains as my guardian until our diplomatic task is complete. The council dispersed with reluctant acceptance. Erin approached Leon. You fought with purpose, but not violence. I appreciate that. They were not enemies. Erin removed her helmet to show respect. Walk with me again. They left the arena and entered a shaded walkway. The sun dipped lower, casting a warm glow across the stone paths. Erin spoke with a quieter tone. The council will not challenge the tradition further. You have earned their respect. More importantly, you have earned mine. Leon nodded. I only